Welcome to Heartfelt with Julie Majarison, a space for honest stories, tender truths, and soul-deep conversations. I'm your host, Julie Majarison, and here we explore the questions that stir something real in us. Questions about joy, fear, healing, and the moments that shape who we are. Each episode is an invitation to slow down, go deeper, and hear the kind of stories that remind us we're not alone in this human experience. So wherever you are right now, thank you for being here. Let's begin. Welcome to Heartfelt with Julie Majarison. I am so excited with my guest I have today, and this is Susan. I have known Susan for quite a while, and why Susan's actually here is because when I was revisiting My Way to Happiness, Susan is in a star in it, and I speak about her quite a lot, and it's like, you know what, I need to catch up with where Susan is 20 years later. So let me tell you a little bit about Susan. Susan is a well-known Australian clairvoyant medium, a Feng Shui consultant renowned for her insights guidance. Susan, creator of Australian wildlife guidance cards, combines her connection to nature and her spiritual practices. Susan grew up on a dairy farm in southeast Queensland, Australia. While her childhood helped develop her communication skills with both physical and subtle worlds. This unique gift blossomed early, laying the foundation for her future work in metaphysics. With over 2 decades of experience, I think it's more than that actually, Susan, I must tell you. Susan offers personal clairvoyant readings through phone and video consultations, and now in person at Magicality's shop in Gympie, earning a reputation for her accurate predictions and intuitive guidance. Clients frequently describe her insights as spot on and return to her year after year for support and clarity. In addition to her clairvoyant work, Susan has provided Feng Shui consultations worldwide for more than 20 years, drawing on her ancient principles. She expertly balances the energies of homes and business environments, promoting harmony and well-being. Susan continues to inspire and support individuals from all walks of life through her unique blend of clairvoyance and Feng Shui, helping them navigate their journeys with confidence and peace. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you. It's tricky listening to that bio.
Well, yeah, because I'm thinking it's more than 20 years because I first had my Feng Shui consultation with you, and that would have been 20 years ago, and you were pretty onto it by then. So I think you had a little bit more experience. I don't think you were new at it then.
No. I don't know how long I'd been doing it for then, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
It probably indicates that I need to update my website bio.
Yeah, maybe, maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Susan
No,
is in my book because she was such a big influence with Feng Shui in a house that we bought. And now that I know that she's back in the area, I'm very much about a physical person. I know we do a lot online, and I know I could have reached out with her online, but maybe now that she comes to Gympie frequently, I might even ask her to come and do our house. So we'll watch this space. But, and also Susan has given me a lot of clarity over the years, and I speak about that in my book also. But anyway, over to you, Susan. Is there anything you'd like to share before we start on these questions?
Well, I do remember doing your house when we first met, Julie, and it was, it was a big one. I remember quite, and I think I've used it in some of the workshops I've done over the years too, some of the examples that I remember. I'm not going to speak of them here, but yeah, no, it was quite even the home. Think it was an A-frame, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And it had a different entry. Like each there
Yeah.
was different entries, different driveways and about getting that all in line. Yeah.
It was a little challenging, I remember, for you guys to live in it.
Yeah.
So,
And also across the road, there was a big water tank.
oh, that's right.
And you were saying about the energy with the water tank, and I'm getting goose pimples and remembering
Yeah.
it. And we had to put a mirror and yeah, so oh, there's so much happening. But yeah, so it was, I wonder, because it was a little chaotic without having this feng shui, with
Yeah.
having the feng shui. And I think, oh my goodness, what would it have been like without it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but anyway, it's all good, and I'm here where I am because of that experience. But
And
yeah,
so
enough
nice,
about me.
so nice catching up with you, but yeah. So what would you like me to speak about? Just, I'm back in Queensland now. I had a lovely 8 years in Tasmania, and that was very necessary through the whole COVID thing. I realise now why the calling was to get down to Tassie. It was very much that COVID period that allowed me to transition into doing more online for people that really needed it then. And so now that's sort of settled, and the calling was to come back to Queensland, and here we are. So, yeah, only been here since April last year. So, still settling into the house, and been fortunate enough to be welcomed back into Magicality once a fortnight at the moment over there. So I'm enjoying that. Clients are coming through. So yeah, but settling into a new energy is always a little tricky. Tasmania had a whole different vibe to be down there. It's so slow and so steady. And then to come back and have to desensitize to people, lots of people and lots of so
Yeah.
that's taken us a little while, but I think we're getting there for sure.
I
Yeah.
re I actually got to visit Susan in Tasmania when I was there with my then husband in my old story. And it was 2018, and we met at a coffee shop, and it was just so lovely. But you did actually mention about how much slower things were down there. And yeah, it is like it's like not in that rush time. It's very much in that being present moment time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a beautiful place. And we've got a little holiday booked to go back down there in May. So it calls you back, but it'll be nice to just be one of the tourists.
I'm so happy that you're here. And I just want to ask you the first question, and that is what brings you joy, Susan?
Oh, what brings me joy? Joy, joy is a moment by moment experience, isn't it? You have a choice to feel joy, but I guess what I would start with was probably in the morning sun coming up when I'm outside in the morning. There's a little four-legged friend I have in this house that insists that he go out in the morning first thing, and as soon as my feet hit the floor, that's our first. I resisted it a little bit to start with. I thought, no, no, he's got to wait for me to do my meditation, then I'll take him out. But then I thought, why? It's so joyful out there, experiencing what he was experiencing. It's just a cat, by the way. It's not a
I
dog.
was going to say,
And
yeah.
he's a cat, and he loves to go out in the leads now. So that's his world out there for a walk first thing in the morning. And I just love it. It's just watching everything in nature, and you just get so connected. So the gratitude brings me joy, the gratitude of just being in that space. I guess that's
Yeah.
one, but it's a moment by moment experience that we can choose, to feel joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
To me, even
not
thinking
one
of
thing.
cats, yeah, cats going on a lead is still a little bit foreign for me.
For a lot of people. I do get a
Yeah.
few that walk past our entrance and look at me in the garden with the dog. They're walking their dog, and I'm walking the cat.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
belly's out when he sees a dog going. So yeah, I better be
Yeah.
careful. So yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you have to be looking out.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
been my mate for a long time.
Do you
Yeah,
have a fear that you know of that's holding you back? And can you share about that?
fear. I can't honestly say I have a fear, but I'm aware of fear, if that makes sense. So if
Mm,
fear arises in me, I see it and I have a look at why that has arisen, and I do try and do the inner work in that moment. I guess there's fear if you see a snake on the ground, or there's fear if I think fear is just something that comes and goes,
mm.
a bit like trust. It's like the opposite of it, isn't it? It's the fear,
Yeah.
the yin and yang. But
Yeah.
no, I'm very aware when fear presents in me. And yeah, I use it as an opportunity to have a deeper look at where has that come from, and if it is
Mm,
something that I've taken on as a belief, that I can move it fairly quickly. Uh,
that's
yeah,
great. So
yeah.
it's not a real standout thing that you have. You feel like you move through it pretty quickly.
I guess if you were going to be in a car accident or something karmically was going to hit me, fear would just arise like anybody else, and that you just, it's a mechanism, isn't it, that
Mm,
place in the body. But as for fear that holds me back now, that's getting less and less. And if, the way I look at that, is if I've got resistance in my body, if there's resistance doing something like, say, Julie offers to do a podcast and a fear if it came up, which a lot of people have fear when we're going to have an interview or we're going to talk publicly, I try really hard to look at this as being a challenge to move through, you know.
mm,
So yeah, that's how I work with fear now. Yeah.
yeah, beautiful.
And say
Have you?
I wouldn't say I've mastered it all, but I do feel like it's a bit of a tool now. It's something I can work with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Have you ever had a life-changing moment?
Life-changing moments are happening every moment. Nothing ever stays the same. Um, I've had four sons, so giving birth to their life-changing moments. Your life is never the same after you have a child. That's probably the first thing that I think in the physical sense for me.
Mm.
That's just a gift. I mean, they could be those absolute joyful moments as well, where you could put that into that. That's what gives you joy as well. But
Mm,
to see your children or to talk to your kids, that's the grandkids and great grandkids now. So,
mm,
there's lots of them. But they changed my life for sure. Probably what I'd like to share is because this is, all of this spiritual stuff is my path in life now. So I guess my biggest life-changing moment was probably when I went to India in my early 30s, I think it was. That concreted in what I knew I had to do, even though there was resistance to, oh, but how do I do that with this? And that the moments I had in awareness, in meditation, in ashrams in India, changed me for life. So yeah, that would probably be
that's
those
yeah.
months. Yeah.
Has there been a moment that you wish you could freeze in time?
No, because I wouldn't be growing. If we froze it, you wouldn't,
You're stuck there.
you'd be stuck there. So every moment that we experience is an opportunity to grow. I
Yeah,
really believe that. That's what we're here for. We're just here working on unlearned business, basically, something
yeah,
we haven't learned yet. And I value that now. It's really, yeah.
yeah. Do you have a trigger that you're aware of?
Oh, if Laurie forgets to take the rubbish bin out, maybe. No, again, they're there. Those triggers are indicators, that to look inward rather than to look outward. They're signposts that say, "Oh, I'm having a reaction. I'm having a reaction to something." But as for do I have one particular one? No, I can't say there's one that I can think of at the moment, but I know that if a trigger or a button, I call them button presses, if somebody presses my buttons, I just say thank you. Thank you for showing me a part of myself I haven't resolved yet. If I can bring that awareness in deeper, then
Yeah.
that's all that stuff starts to fall away, and then you're not actually pointing fingers at anyone or anything, or blaming or judging. We want peace, and we want peace in the world. And if we're heading towards that, we've got to find it here. We've really got to find
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If a
that's
genie jumped out of the bottle and granted you one wish, what would that be?
uh, yeah, world peace. Peace for humanity. I realize that we're all growing and we learn through our suffering, but the level that we're in at the moment, to create this shift that's needed to bring back some sort of level playing field for humanity at the moment, I think it's an individual job now. We've all got to work on creating a peaceful world within ourselves first, and then that'll collectively make some change, hopefully, on planet Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. What is something that you've never said out loud, but you wish someone would ask you about?
I've got nothing for that one.
Got
Something
nothing?
I've
You're a
never said.
pretty open
Uh,
book.
yeah, yeah. No, I can't think of anything that I wish someone had asked me that I've never said out loud.
Yeah, that's all
I'm
good.
I'm pretty well prattle on all everything comes out. Yeah.
Yeah. When was the last time you truly felt seen, and what was it about that moment that stayed with you?
The last time, it's right
That you
now.
truly felt seen, like now? Is it
Yeah,
now?
it's right now. Yeah, you want me to go to another one? Oh.
No, your
No,
choice.
no, this is it. This is it. We're holding space for each other, and if we could all just keep doing that, holding space for, you're going to feel seen, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's our role. You're doing that for me right now, and I'm hopefully doing that for you as well. Just hold
Yeah,
space.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you could send a message back to your younger self, message but not advice, what would that be?
There's probably two messages, I'd say. Forgive them, and you are enough.
Hmm. Yeah.
Enough the way you are right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. What does healing look like for you right now?
This moment again, it's just, a daily practice of healing. It's my responsibility. If I've got resistance to anything, if I've got, buttons pressed, or that's healing, this moment by moment, going within, sitting with the self, and realizing that you're much more than just this body, that there's nothing permanent about this body, that the spirit is permanent, but there's nothing permanent about this physical body as we know. So,
Yeah.
connecting with that inner intelligence that keeps that vibration high. So you're shining your light on anything that needs healing, whether it be yourself, the child, the animals, anyone you come in contact with. That's the joy of life. It's the joy of life.
Yeah.
Mm.
Beautifully said. I'm going to ask a few more questions, which I'm sure you know the answer to. Tell me a little bit about if there's a person watching this podcast and hasn't had the courage or not quite game enough to have a clairvoyant reading? Like what's something that you could say to them that might actually help them understand it a bit? You know, they might have some fear that's holding them back from, not
It would
believing in that metaphysical world. But yeah, what are your words to them, Suzanne?
I'd say be brave. You know, when we're brave and we befriend our fears, then any fear that we have in ourselves, we can step forward and recognize our own strength. And for me, when I'm doing readings for people, it's not me that's doing it. I do a prayer or ritual at the beginning, and I ask that I be of service and allow that to come through me for the high good of the person sitting there and for the high good of all. And yeah, I guess, you can't live your life by tarot readers or clairvoyance, or you're creating this life as much yourself, that I do believe there are things that can be predicted because it happens through me. So, I've had the evidence of it, and clients have too, but it's fear that's sort of like that blocks so much. It's like I always give this scenario of, if you have faith and you trust in God, or you trust in a higher intelligence, then the tap's turned on for you all the time through that love, and fear is what kinks the hose.
Mm,
It doesn't let it flow. So, once you acknowledge that, oh yeah, I am nervous about this, but I'm going to be brave and I'm going to create a space for myself to maybe walk through something here. What's the worst that can happen? And, like I said, I say something to someone and they don't like it and they don't want it, they don't have to have it. They can walk out of there and go, "Phew, that's a whole lot of poo-hoo." If they're not ready to receive, they won't. So just do it for fun and see how you feel if it's something you want to do.
yeah, yeah. Thank you for
I
explaining
hope
that.
that hope that helped.
Yeah. And what about feng shui? If someone's been a little bit sitting on the fence, what insight can you share in your words on the beauty it unfolds?
A lot of people
Yeah.
don't even understand to start with. So, or they get just very confused because there's so many different schools of feng shui. So they might pick up a book here and a book there, and it seems as though it's contradicting itself. So I always say, work with what feels right within yourself to start with. What you feel when you start to read. Oh, yeah, this is making a bit of sense to me. I feel okay. Because a lot of it's just to do with energy. It's the chi, the energy, the life force that flows in and around the building and the environment. And if you don't get your environment, supportive, it's like planting a tree in a barren soil and it's got nothing to help it grow. And if you get the environment right and you put some fertilizer in and you water it regularly, it's going to grow. So feng shui to me is like that. I always use nature to bring in the balance into someone's environment. So that's the starting point, just understanding that it's all about balance and getting good life force energy in your environment. So we don't want it stagnant, because we don't do as well in an environment that's not in balance. So
Mm,
nature comes into it all the way through any of my consultations. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, lovely.
It's a big subject. It's a really big subject, feng shui,
Mm.
and I've simplified it down enough that we can make really practical changes and get results, for people. So
Yeah.
it's that feeling thing that they're stuck in life, they can get moving a little bit. Once they move, and it might be as simple as moving some furniture, but it might be decluttering. It might be taking, fire. As I remember, your house was a fire element house,
Yeah.
and I can't remember what element you were born with, but I know there was someone born with it that had the wood element, and that may have been you when we calculated it out. And if you were to stay there, a fire element house would be like putting a fire under wood, which would burn you up eventually. So we had to add water in and we had to do other things to fix the and balance, or earth maybe it was, I think, mostly that I used with you guys. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
We weren't at that house for very long, about 2 years, I think.
and
And
I
yeah.
remember thinking, I hope they move from here. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can, because Susan come like even before we had all their furniture in, because I wanted to have it all set up, and I could feel Susan's apprehension. It's like, well, we love this house, but she could feel how it
Yeah.
wasn't very aligned.
I could say in all the years I've done, there's only probably been about half a dozen houses that I would have wanted to recommend people find another one,
Yeah.
so um,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's really detrimental to your health,
Yeah, that's right. And that's the amazing thing that I love is, people are living in houses that aren't good for their health. And but anyway, that's their journey and yeah, their story.
You can't overrule the destiny when it comes to
Mm,
feng shui, but you can have the journey to the destiny a lot more comfortable, if that makes
yeah. Yeah,
sense.
that makes perfect sense.
Mm.
Australian wildlife guidance cards. Hey, I like an oracle card or a tarot card. And yeah, so can you share a little bit more about them?
Well, they originated way back in 2000, I think it was when I got a really strong message in that I was to write and bring forth some messages from the animals. And it was quite amazing because the animals started showing up, and I started writing notes down. But we were in a busy phase of our life. This was with my previous husband. And yeah, we ended up going on a journey and we decided they were going to get done anyway. So, and we got them done. And I think it was a 4-year journey to get the cards and the book done, with artists and editing and everything that came with it. And then we separated, and I needed to have a refresh for myself. So I went to Tasmania, that was when I redid just a simplified version. And so that's what I've got with me now. And I'm at that point now. Do I redo again? And do I add a book to this lot again? Because there's other animals coming now. So yeah, just sitting with it at the moment. So watch this space. Watch this space.
Yes, wow. I look forward to seeing what happens.
Mm.
In the description below and in the links, there's all how you can find Susan. And she has a website, and you can go on and find out more about Susan and what she has to offer. And she's been a huge impact in my life. And even though I haven't seen her for many years, 8 years, that is going to change because life is like a spiral for me, and things come around and it's time to look at it again. So I am really blessed that you are here, and I just really thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Julie.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing this moment with us. I hope something in this conversation stays with you, opens something up in you, or simply made you feel seen. If this episode moved you, feel free to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to continue this journey with us, be sure to subscribe and stay connected. Until next time, take care of your heart and remember, your story matters. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Julie.